Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking this ingredient, azelaic acid. Now, for those of you that followed the channel throughout 2022, you'll know one of my favourite skincare ingredients is azelaic acid. It's still a bit of an unsung hero, but it's growing in popularity month on, month out, and you see a lot of people scrambling to reach for this ingredient. That's totally understandable, because if used consistently, azelaic acid can calm and soothe the skin, minimise acne-causing bacteria, and even fade hyperpigmentation. However, whilst all of us will be reaching for products like this, which is a skinner in at 20%, there might be a better alternative that could deliver you all these wonderful results, but with a fraction of the side effects, prickling and irritation that you can get from standard azelaic acid. So sit back, relax, let's talk azelaic acid derivatives. Now, before we get into this video, I would love to know your own azelaic acid before and after stories. Sound off in the comment section below for what this ingredient's done for your skin. Did it transform your skin confidence and give you the results that you want, or were you left a little bit underwhelmed? All our skin is unique and it will react differently to different ingredients, which is why, whilst these are just my thoughts, feelings and opinions, I really want to hear yours, so get the conversation going in the comments section below. Whatever your thought on azelaic acid, if you want to support me as a content creator, the very best way of doing that is by reaching down and giving this video a big thumbs up. The more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform, and we are so close to that 100,000 subscriber milestone. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you that subscribed, taking the time to leave a comment, like the video, honestly means the world to me. Now, I've got a lot to get through in today's video, so let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So azelaic acid, a wonder ingredient delivering all the benefits that I mentioned earlier in the video. However, most people will still reach for azelaic acid in its pure natural form in products such as this, which is a Skinnerin 20% cream. You can get 15%, 10%, 5%, whatever concentration you reach for. Most products are formulated with pure form azelaic acid. Now that works so well for so many people, myself included. However, a lot of people say, particularly when they first reach for azelaic acid, that it causes sensitivity, redness, irritation, almost like thousands of needles kind of jabbing into the skin in the first 2 to 3 minutes after application. For some people that will die down, but some people never really build up that tolerance. There are things you can do to make your azelaic acid journey that little bit easier, such as keeping the product in the fridge to cool it down. You can also, gradually introduce it a couple of times a week and build up from there. However, azelaic acid in its pure form is just one way of delivering this wonderful ingredient. There's actually a whole suite of different azelaic acid derivatives, and there's one in particular that I want to focus on in today's video, and that's PAD. That's an abbreviation for a ridiculously long scientific name that I'm going to leave on the screen here. Some of the recent studies and data points actually show that you could be getting enhanced benefits from reaching for PAD as opposed to pure form azelaic acid. It actually penetrates better into the skin, delivering quicker results, roughly in around 4 weeks as opposed to the 6 to 8 weeks you usually have to wait for pure form azelaic acid to get to work, and it does all of this with minimum risk of side effects and irritation. Also, because it's got a different chemical composition, it's actually said to be much more hydrating than pure form azelaic acid, again, delivering some great extra benefits from what maybe we're used to seeing. In this video, I want to compare and contrast the two forms of azelaic acid so that you can make the right ones for your skincare needs. Let's kick things off with azelaic acid in its true pure form. A wonder ingredient that can actually act as a tyrosinase inhibitor to minimize the amount of excess pigment produced, which is why over time it fades discoloration, hyperpigmentation and acne scarring. If you use azelaic acid consistently in your skincare routine, you'll definitely notice a more even complexion, and I think this is one of the key reasons so many people are reaching for it. It also has calming and soothing benefits, meaning it's great if you're rosacea prone or you have an inflammatory skin condition. This can really calm and soothe everything down. Finally, it's clinically proven to reduce the prevalence of acne-causing bacteria on the skin, which means fewer breakouts. So in the long term, less acne scarring, less hyperpigmentation. It's just an all-round holy grail. I've always reached for azelaic acid in a roughly 10 to 15% concentration. I pushed to this, which was a Skinnerin 20%, and found, honestly, the prickling and the sensitivity was just way too much. So I kind of went back to a lower concentration, which is what I think just works best for my skin. I covered the benefits of different concentrations in a separate video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there. The benefits when it comes to reaching for pure form azelaic acid over an azelaic acid derivative, I think are twofold. One, the sheer volume of scientific studies and data done into this ingredient in its pure form shows just how beneficial it can be for the skin. All those benefits I've just mentioned have been proven time and time again, so you know when you reach for pure form azelaic acid, it's going to be delivering you all those skincare benefits. I think the second key benefit as well is it tends to be less expensive than its derivative counterparts. There are more products on the market that contain pure form azelaic acid, so you can shop around. There's some drugstore options. It really means that you can find the right product to match your individual budget when it comes to skincare. So I think there's much more price flexibility in the azelaic acid in its pure form market than there is with derivatives. When it comes to side effects, I think there's quite a few. Tolerance. Some people, their skin will just adjust to the inclusion of azelaic acid, and over time, the sensitivity will diminish. That won't happen for everyone, and there is going to be an adjustment phase no matter how resilient your skin happens to be. Second up, azelaic acid isn't particularly soluble, so you'll often find products that contain pure form azelaic acid appear a little bit grainy. This doesn't mean it's off or needs to be thrown out, but you will definitely find that graininess to a lot of pure form azelaic acid products, which doesn't lend itself to the best user experience when you're applying it to the skin. Third, azelaic acid can be quite drying on the skin. For me, someone who's super oily and acne prone, that's not an issue. But if you've got a drier skin type, the inclusion of pure form azelaic acid could dry out yet further, which might be problematic. You can get around that by increasing the amount of moisturizing agents in your routine, but that will work for some people better than others, so you definitely need to bear that in mind. Fourth and final, azelaic acid in its pure form is very heavily regulated in a lot of markets, which means in places such as Canada, it can be really difficult to actually access over the counter. In some jurisdictions, you can get a maximum of 5% concentration, when actually a lot of people might want to reach for 10, 15% strengths to get the best results, and so it can be very restricted and limiting, so it's not going to work for everyone. Here in the UK, we're very fortunate, we can get anything up to 15% over the counter, but if you wanted to reach for a 20%, you'd need a prescription. And in a lot of countries, actually that threshold is even lower, if it exists at all. I know there are countries out there where azelaic acid just is not allowed over the counter, so it can be really difficult to get your hands on. If you wanted to reach for a pure form azelaic acid, the two that I would recommend are this is the Face Theory Lumizalia Serum, a beautiful 15% concentration that you can also get a 10% on their website. I'm going to leave an image of it there. Lots of you guys have been requesting that rather than just holding up the products, I also include an image, making it easier for you guys to get the name and everything. If that's something you want me to continue to do, let me know by giving the video a like, and I'll try and incorporate that into all future videos. Second is this is the Revox Just Azelaic Acid in a 10% concentration. Again, a wonderful option. I love Revox as a brand. Both of these are cruelty free and relatively drugstore in their price point, and this has a really nice creamy texture, though again, in keeping with pure form azelaic acid, it can get a little bit gritty over time, so just bear that in mind. So now let's come on to my favourite azelaic acid derivative, PAD, and why I think this might actually transform your approach to azelaic acid and could be a wonderful addition to so many people's skincare routine. So this is a derivative of azelaic acid. It has a different chemical composition, but it works in very similar ways. Until recently, there wasn't a whole lot of studying done onto how beneficial this actually was for the skin, so we're working blind on it and using people's anecdotal experiences with it to say just how amazing it could be. We now have those data points, and whilst there isn't as much data as on pure form azelaic acid, it's certainly started to come through and showing really promising results. So a couple of things to call out. These studies actually show it's way more hydrating than traditional azelaic acid. That's because of that different chemical composition, which just means it's going to be more hydrating on the skin and less likely to trigger dryness and irritation. So I think PAD is a go-to azelaic acid derivative if it comes to people with a very dryness prone skin type that finds traditional azelaic acid just too stripping and drying to use on a consistent basis. If you have a very oily acne prone skin type, you might still want to reach for pure form azelaic acid because you might find that slight stripping and drying actually beneficial. The second thing that these studies showed is that PAD is far better absorbed into the skin than traditional azelaic acid. It's for this reason that it actually starts delivering benefits far sooner. Roughly, it takes 4 weeks to start seeing the wonderful benefits of PAD, whereas traditional azelaic acid is between 6 and 8 weeks. Okay, that's not a huge time difference, and I always think you should invest now for the long-term benefits when it comes to your skincare, but who doesn't like a quick win? And the fact that you can get these amazing benefits faster, I think elevates PAD into one of my favourite forms of azelaic acid. Because of its different chemical composition, it's also proven to have far fewer side effects than pure form azelaic acid. Less sensitivity, less irritation. You don't get that prickling, stinging that a lot of people report when they reach for azelaic acid, particularly in the first couple of months. This is going to be smooth sailing from first application, and whilst you absolutely should patch test it like you would any of your skincare ingredients before you introduce it, a lot of people say that they get the same great benefits with far fewer side effects when reaching for PAD. When it comes to these benefits, again, these studies have shown it's great when brightening the skin and tackling and fading hyperpigmentation. It's also just as effective when it comes to dialing back sensitivity and irritation in the skin, which I think are the key benefits of reaching for azelaic acid in the first place. Where I think it's less proven to work is when it comes to reducing acne-causing bacteria on the skin. One of the key benefits of reaching for pure form azelaic acid is over time it reduces the prevalence of the acne-causing bacteria, so will minimise future breakouts. Whilst some studies show this PAD can do this at the margins, it's less effective than pure form azelaic acid when it comes to this. So if you're using your azelaic acid to tackle acne, then obviously stay with it in its pure form. If you're not suffering with acne, then maybe moving to PAD will be the best option for you, because you're not worried about those minimising of acne-causing bacteria, but you would love to get the quicker turnaround of results with less sensitivity and irritation. When it comes to the drawbacks of reaching for the derivative PAD, I think there's a couple that I want to call out. One, it isn't as well studied as pure form azelaic acid, so you need to factor that into your assessment. I got wonderful results from it. I know so many other people that did too, and I'm glad that scientific data is starting to come through to back that up, but it hasn't got the decades worth of data sat behind it that pure form azelaic acid has. Secondly, it can be more expensive to reach for. There's fewer brands formulate with PAD, so they kind of capture the market and can raise their prices a little bit. So it's not going to fit everyone's price point, but I do have some of my favourites that I want to come onto in this section of the video. So let's kick things off with the cheapest, which is this, the Geek and Gorgeous A-Pad Serum. Beautiful concentration of 20% PAD, which is one of the highest concentrations you can get. This will work wonders on your skin, brighten everything up. It'll help fade hyperpigmentation, calm and soothe. All of this with the minimum risk of irritation and side effects, making this a true holy grail. And I've linked it alongside all the other products mentioned today in the description box below if you did want to check it out in more detail. The Repigment by Neod, which is another one of my firm favourites, also uses this azelaic acid derivative. I think if you're going to be blending multiple different actives alongside azelaic acid, going for a derivative is just the safer option, because again, less risk of sensitivity from combining too many potent actives. This is packed full of active ingredients to tackle hyperpigmentation, so I'm really glad that they went with an azelaic acid derivative to really deliver all of that with that minimum risk of irritation. When it comes to my own skincare routine, I actually choose to mix it up. On an evening, I'll reach for this, the Mad About Skin Got You Covered Super Serum that has a 20% concentration of pure form azelaic acid. I don't want to miss out on all the wonderful benefits from that pure form azelaic, but I like to also combine it with this, the Geek and Gorgeous A-Pad that I use on a morning. This way, I get the benefits of azelaic acid both morning and evening, minimum risk of side effects, irritation, a little extra hydration, and those quicker results. So I just find that this pairing is the absolute gold standard in my skincare routine at least, but I'd love to know what approach you're going to take, so sound off in the comments section below. So there you have it, guys, a rundown of azelaic acid versus azelaic acid derivatives. Like everything in skincare, there is no right or wrong here. It's just going to come down to what works best for your individual skin's needs, your budget and your skincare routine. Hopefully by showing you some great options in both markets and categories, you'll be able to choose the one that best meets what you're looking to get out of the product. For me, I find a combination of these two delivers the best results, but if I was starting out my azelaic acid journey from fresh, I would probably just reach for the derivative PAD, because I'd be able to get all those great benefits with minimum risk of side effects, which I definitely experienced in that initial transition period. The prickling and the irritation is one of the main reasons people step back from azelaic acid and miss out on the wonderful benefits you can see. I am delighted that studies have started to show just how effective PAD is when it comes to fading hyperpigmentation and calming and soothing the skin. You need to be realistic. If you reach for an azelaic acid derivative, it's not going to have those proven anti-acne benefits, so definitely factor that into your decision. But the purpose of this video is really to give you guys the information you need to make the right call for your skincare routine, and hopefully I've been able to achieve that. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, opinions in the comments section below, and wherever you are in the world, guys. Stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.